Hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my first ever one brand multi-palette bingo, and I've decided that I'm going to be using my Juvia's Place palettes for today's video. I own 3 palettes by this brand, and across all 3 of these palettes I have 41 eyeshadow shades, and these are just some of the most amazingly pigmented shadows and most inspiring color stories from my own collection. I couldn't choose something better and more exciting to do than to use these shadows today. I really need a little bit of color infusion in my life lately, like on a very regular basis, and I'm just so excited to maybe create a color scheme and a look that I may not have otherwise done on my own. Juvia's Place is a Black-owned makeup brand, and although that's not the reason why I love this brand, it really is another reason to fall in love with this brand. And I have decided that for today's video, 100% of my AdSense revenue is going to be donated to Black Lives Matter Canada. I just think that that is something that I want to try to do more regularly here on my channel. I am just so excited given the color stories of all of these palettes. I just can't wait. So let's just do it. Let's pull the 5 eyeshadows that I am going to be working with today. So I wrote down all 41 of the eyeshadows that I have between these 3 palettes into the Tiny Decisions app, and we are gonna choose the 5 shadows I'm gonna be creating today's look with. So the first one is going to be from the Zulu. It's going to be shade number 9. So shade number 1 is this matte true purple kind of color, and then the next one is going to be Kogi from the Magic Mini. Kogi is a matte red with a white base, so it can read quite pink, and I'm really excited for this pairing so far. My next shadow is going to be from the Masquerade Mini, the shade Cairo. I think Cairo is my least used shade from the Masquerade Mini. It is a beautiful terracotta kind of shade. It's a matte clay terracotta color, but then it has these flecks of gold, and I just find that kind of formula a little bit off-putting. That's not really something that I tend to reach for, so I'm excited to give it a shot. And shadow number 4 then is going to be also from the Masquerade Mini. It's going to be Mali? What is wrong with me? Mali. So Mali is this beautiful, vibrant, light green shimmer shade. It is really throwing me for a loop, but this is one of my favorite shadows from the Masquerade Mini. So I'm excited and also nervous to pull my last shade. So let's just do that really quickly. The last shadow is then going to be, I'm nervous, from the Magic Mini, the shade Kessie. So Kessie is a matte beige shade, which is virtually my skin tone. I already have set my eyes, so I don't have to do that, and I really think that I should pull something that's going to offer a little bit more dimension to the look. So I'm gonna just pull another shade, even though I'm kind of afraid of what's gonna fall in the mix. Let's just do it. Let's pull a 5th colorful shadow, or 6th, I guess. Okay, so that shade also comes from the Magic Mini. It's the shade Aja or Aya. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. I'm actually really excited I decided to choose that 6th shadow because this one right here is so beautiful and I've not yet played with it. This is a like slate mossy shimmer green shade. So beautiful, and I think it actually does complement this shade selection very well. So seeing as I did pull the shade Kessie, I am just going to use that. I'm going to set that down all over my lid. I probably will also use it to help maybe blend out some of my shadows, but my primer, which is my Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and the shadow that I used to set it are kind of starting to crease a little bit because it is so freaking hot today, and I find I need like a lot of eyeshadow to actually set and make sure that my hooded eyes don't crease. My shadow doesn't crease on my hooded eyes, rather. So I'm just gonna use that all over the entirety of my lid, but again, I think I'm gonna use it later on in the look as well. So I'm gonna be going into Cairo to start off this look, which is that terracotta kind of shadow, and it has some gold flecks in it, but I'm gonna be using it like a matte today. I do think that's more how it's going to work. I'm just gonna make sure I tap off my brush to kind of have those shimmers fall out, and then I'm just going to buff this into like my crease, transition, kind of everything region. So I'm just gonna start off as lightly as I can with this shade. I don't want to go in too intensely, and I can always build it up, but it's really hard to take away shadow. I'd love to hear some of your recommendations about brands that are Black owned and some of your favorite products from those brands. I really am not in the mood to like over purchase, but that is more where I'd like to show my support and to spend my money is more in these independently owned, Black owned businesses. So next up, I'm going into Kogi, which is that like matte light red kind of shade. I'm going to use this on more of a small precision kind of blender brush, and I'm just going to pop it onto the like middle section of my crease. I guess it's just easier if I show you right here. Like right above where my pupil is, I guess is the best descriptor of where I'm going to be using that shadow. I might end up amping that up eventually, but for now I just want to keep it minimal and then we can work our way up. I really have been trying to practice my slowly building skills. So next up, I'm going to go into this 9th shade in the Zulu palette. This is that matte purple. I'm going to use the exact same brush, and I'm just going to work it onto the sides as much as I can. Really tap off the excess, and oh my god, guys, I hit just the tiniest little bit of pan there. Ah! I knew I was super close on this shadow. I'm so excited. That's so cool. Okay, anyways, I digress. I am going to just put this onto the outer portion of my lid and my outer portion of my crease here. I'm kind of nervous about this because this shadow can be a little bit patchy, but I'm just going to be super delicate, very delicate in my application right now. So I'm just going to use that original brush that I used for that more terracotta kind of shade called Cairo. And I just want to blend out the edge of that purple using this brush. And the next shade I'm going to go into is that beautiful deep, like, I want to call it like a gunmetal green, even though I feel like that's not at all a color, but that's kind of what it feels like to me. So I'm going to use a like shorter shader kind of brush because I really just want to place this on the outer portion of my lid. I don't want to be too liberal in my application of this shade, but it definitely has a special place in this look for sure. So I'm going to just tap it onto my outer corner. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Right here. Sure, why not? Oh, it's actually more sheer than I was expecting. Ooh. I kind of like that. It's actually like a deep, jewel-toned, kind of like evergreen color. So many words, so many descriptors. I also did my like foundation, my Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue is all over my skin, but I didn't do my under eye concealer with this exact thought in mind that I was gonna probably get some fallout playing with some super colorful shadows for my collection. So I'm so glad I did not do that. It is what it is. It's kind of messy. I just need to... Oh, okay, I was gonna wipe that up and apparently it just wanted to make a mess. Okay. So next I'm just going to grab Mally. I'm kind of working it into one side of a short shader brush, and then I'm going to tap off just a little bit so there isn't like massive fallout. And I'm actually going to just spray this brush with a little bit of my Mario Badescu facial spray just to kind of foil it a little bit more. And I'm going to just place this all over my entire lid, everywhere. I have always loved this shadow. This color is so good and the pigmentation on this is so nice. It's absolutely beautiful. So I just want to refine the purple a little bit more. I'm just going to take a little bit more on the exact same brush and just work it on the outer corner to give this a little bit more shape. I almost want to like elongate my eye using this color. And they are not the same shape by any means because I just can't. And while I have a little bit of that green still on this brush, I'm just gonna go in with that other green shade and just try to amplify that again on the outer portion of my lid. I'm gonna try to blend the two colors really together, and then it will blend into that matte purple. It's kind of my goal. Yeah, that's kind of more what I was envisioning. And you know what? Just for the heck of it, I'm going to go into Kessie, and I'm going to use that to kind of blend out the edges of this whole look as well. So I just went off camera to go and basically redo my base makeup because I never do my base first. I always do my eyes first no matter what. And today I risked it and it wasn't worth the risk. I ended up getting fallout basically everywhere. So I redid my full base, and now I kind of have to clean up a little bit of the spots, especially on the edges where the purple is, because as I was trying to wipe away fallout, I kind of messed up the edges a little bit. So we are going to do that, and we're going to do the lash line at the same time, the lower lash line. So I'm going to go back into that purpley shade on the same brush that I've been using it on this whole time, this really small blender brush, which is from ColourPop. And I'm just going to kind of bring back that pigment on the lid, and whatever's left on the brush, maybe I'll tap it off a bit, whatever's left on the brush I'm going to bring on my lower lash line as well and kind of connect those two. Wow, this got super like dramatic. I'm cool with it though. Once I put on mascara, I feel like it doesn't end up looking so exaggerated, for me at least. And when I actually like relax my lids and I'm talking normally, my eyes really do hood up. So it's nice to go a little bit more exaggerated when I'm applying my makeup, and then in real, like actual life, it doesn't look so crazy for me. And on that same big blender brush I've been using, I'm going to use a bit of Cairo again. Really tap it off. And I think I'm going to actually just go on the back of my hand to kind of like work some of that product off first. And then I'm going to use that on the lower lash line and to blend out that edge of the purple. And I'm going extremely light-handed here, holding the brush really close down to the end of the brush. Ferrule, is that the word? And just because we're doing all the things, I think I'm just going to use my ring finger to amp up the shade Mally even more. And to make sure it's like super uniform in application across my entire lid. I'm just going to use my pinky finger in this like deep green shade and just kind of like pat those together. And to finish it all off, I'm going to use Mally again on a very small like detailer kind of brush. And I'm going to spray this brush yet again just to really amp up the metallic look of it. And it creates a really nice uniform application this way as well. I'm just going to kind of like paint it on the inner third of my lower lash line. Should I just put it on the inner corner as well? I guess I'll just wrap it around the whole tear duct since I don't really have a highlighter kind of shade. Ooh. I kind of dig that. Okay. I'm going to finish off the eyes doing a little bit of a first impressions actually. I've never used this mascara before. This is the Covergirl, the Supersizer Fibres, and I have it in the shade Very Black. I've never even opened this, so I don't really know what the wand looks like. It's like a tapered, very skinny, very sparse brush, and it does look like it has fibers in there, so let's give it a shot. Why not? And I think this brush is going to work on my lower lashes, so I'm going to try it on both. I usually don't like mascaras right when I open them. So a first impression for a mascara is never really the greatest from me because I like when they get a bit more dried out, but I mean, they have to start somewhere. Even though this wand is quite spiky, I'm finding it kind of difficult to comb between my lashes to kind of separate them. But I am finding that it's building up quite a bit of volume, so that's nice. So I don't love this mascara on first impression, but it's not the worst ever either. The formula was a little bit dry, and so I felt like it kind of gives me a little bit of a spidery lash. I personally really like that. I like very volumized and kind of messy looking lashes. I feel like it brings a lot of drama to my eyes and brings a lot of attention to my small hooded eyes. But I can see that a lot of people probably wouldn't like this because there was no option for separation at all. Even though it is a plastic wand, you think that you could really work between the lashes, but it didn't seem to separate whatsoever. But it does provide a lot of like messy volume, and I think that has to do a little bit with the dryness, but also with the fact that it has fibers. I don't absolutely love it, but it is not a bad mascara in my mind. Actually, I quite enjoy it on first impression. And then I decided to add a little bit of the Annabelle Mint liner into my waterline. As I was looking at this close up doing my mascara, I realized that greenish color would look really cool with the mint, so I tossed this into my waterline. I really like the way that this really tied the look together. And lastly, I finished off the look with a little lip combo. This one is the lip liner or the lippy pencil by ColourPop in the shade Brink. I use this as an all over my lips base, and then I just kind of topped it off. I put this on my ring finger and kind of just like worked it onto the lips. This is the Kopari lip glossy in the shade Hibiskiss, just to add that slightly more berry pinky kind of shade to Brink. And I think it ties in with that reddish shade that is on the center of my crease, and that purpley tone. This berry really helps to complement and play off of those kind of colors. I actually really enjoyed this look, and I don't think that these are colors that I would pair together. I've often thought, like, how would I do green and purple together without it looking kind of Barney-ish? And I don't think this looks very Barney. I think that hint of that more like red hot pink kind of color really helps to meld the colors together. It's kind of like the perfect transition between those two. However, I did not need to do this using 3 different palettes. I feel like I probably could have created this look using this palette alone, because it does have that deep purple. That is the red shade that I used right there. And then I could have just used like Yara or a mixture of Yara and Buzo right here, or Buzzo, to create this green. But it was so much fun to reach for all 3 of my Juvia's Place palettes and to do a multi-palette bingo. This is something I want to do far more frequently, not only with this brand, but with other brands from my collection, because this was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. I hope that you guys did as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.